How's it going, everyone? I'm Adam Molina. So this video is going to be a little bit different than some of our other reviews because the headphones that we're looking at today, the Sony MDR-7506s, aren't exactly new. In fact, they're damn near classic headphones that are industry standards in everything from major network newsrooms to the indie YouTuber. So the question is, should you invest in a pair? Let's find out. So there are a few different scenarios where headphones become a must-have. One of them is travel, because if you haven't taken active noise-canceling headphones on an airplane yet, what are you doing? Another is exercise, because obviously that's a huge market right now and everyone wants a pair of Bluetooth headphones for the gym. But one category that's definitely not looked at enough is audio production. And I do mean audio production because even though these were great for what I do for work, there were definitely some frustrating aspects about them when it came to everyday life. Let's start with the obvious. These headphones are made almost entirely of plastic, which means they're super lightweight, but also not the most durable pair of cans you'll ever own. They come with a soft carrying case, but that isn't enough to protect them if I throw them in a bag, and more often than not, I just found myself tossing these into my backpack as is, hoping that nothing bad happened to them. On the bright side, these won't cost an arm and a leg to replace even if you do break them, so there's that. And they also fold down nicely into a more compact footprint, which is probably my favorite thing about these. Just pushing the ear cups up towards the headband gives you a satisfying click that lets you know you're good to go. And though it still doesn't seem unbreakable, it becomes so much smaller that it's super useful. The headphones don't have any kind of plush memory foam padding, but they're still sufficiently comfortable for getting the job done. True, they do clamp down on the ears a little too hard, and the crown of my head felt like it was pinched during longer listening sessions, but neither of these issues were enough to make me take these off in relief. Still, if the padding on the ear cups was just a little more comfortable, I would have nothing really to complain about. Luckily, I wasn't the only one, and there's a thriving Amazon marketplace for replaceable ear pads with better padding, so if you do get these and want to go that extra mile for some comfort, you have plenty of options. It could be the wrinkles in the padding, or the fake leather stitching, or the heavy branding on both ear cups, but everything together just makes me really not like the design of these headphones. They're just not pretty. To be fair though, these did come out roughly 2 decades ago, so maybe they were dope at the time, but now they just look boring to me. And I also wish that when I put them around my neck, they did something other than this. I mean, they do that, which is a little better, but still not ideal. Like if they would rotate 90 degrees and just lie flat, that'd be great. So if anyone from Sony is watching this, just update these with swiveling ear cups and some more comfortable pads, and you got yourself a customer. The cable is non-removable, so don't break it, but it's super thick and durable. It almost weighs the headphones down when you're wearing them, but I kind of like that about them. It adds a nice heft to them that inspires a little more confidence from them and makes them feel more heavy and sturdy than something made of plastic. I will say that while this was welcome while sitting at my desk, it was a bit of a hassle to use while out and about just because of how heavy and long the cable is. Speaking of which, it ends in a good old-fashioned golden 3.5mm connector with threading on it to attach the included 1/4" adapter for when you need to plug into something a little more substantial than a smartphone. Now these do have 63 ohms, so any weaker smartphones might need a bit of a boost to power them, but I had no problems while using an iPhone X with a dongle, a Pixel 2 with the freaking dongle, my MacBook Pro, or my OP1 synthesizer. Each sufficiently drove the headphones where I didn't have any issues at all. Now let's talk sound. I said at the beginning of this video that these are industry standards, and that's not because of the build quality. Mainly, it's because of the sound that these 40mm drivers pump out. It's no secret that Beats headphones add a hefty amount of emphasis to lower notes, which results in a booming bass that some customers enjoy. But the MDR-7506s go in the other direction. They emphasize the mids and the highs, which can be both good and bad. Though they can reach as low as 10 Hz, they don't really do a great job at bringing the bass to the forefront. I'm used to the thumping kicks in a song Girls by Slow Magic being front and center, but here they're left in the background while the rhythmic shakes and claps that come in at 39 seconds sound like they take center stage. Even with everything going on at this point in the song, you can still clearly hear the slight reverb added to the claps, giving it a live feel. You can also hear this in the song Home Again by Michael Kiwanuka. Hopefully I didn't butcher that name too much. The song starts out acoustically with just Michael's vocals and his guitar driving everything forward. And in most headphones, the bass strings that he plucks 14 seconds into the song are immediately noticeable, and not to get too deep, almost add a kind of urgency to the track, forcing you to pay attention. Here, those plucks don't have the same impact. Instead, his vocals are given prominence, and at certain points in the song, you can even hear some distortion and harshness creeping into the track. So at this point, you're probably wondering, why are these industry standards if they have some harshness and distortion? Well, it's because of that emphasis on the mids and the highs that make these so good for their intended purpose. Because you have to remember, these aren't really for listening to music, though you obviously can use them for that. These are for production, and when you're producing, you want to make sure that your mix is as clear as possible to the listener. So if there's something harsh in your mix, you want to know that, and these headphones will tell you. And that's what makes these so great for people recording live on the field or anyone editing in a studio. I recently edited a podcast with a pair of crummy in-ears while I was traveling, and it sounded fine to me, obviously, until I got home and listened with these. Every little flaw became immediately apparent. So if you can't justify spending over $1,000 on a pair of high-end open-back reference headphones like the HD800s by Sennheiser, these are super easy to recommend at only about 80 bucks. So should you buy them? Well, if you're going to be producing audio content like for podcasts or even for YouTube, then absolutely, these are super easy to recommend. They're an industry standard for a reason. Otherwise, maybe not. And that pretty much does it for our review of the Sony MDR-7506s. Thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that notification bell down there so you'll be the first to know every time we upload a video. If you want to know more about any of the other products we review, make sure to check out SoundGuys.com. I'm Adam Molina. Thanks for watching.